fire, 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 fire.
Hi, my name is Josh Garry. I'm a history teacher, and this is Way Back When with Blanguage. We trace the origins of the Kingdom of Benin to the 10th century, and it existed way until the 19th century. The Kingdom of Benin is just one of many examples of the many civilizations, very, very well advanced civilizations that existed in West Africa at this period during the medieval ages. You had the Kingdom of Mali, you had the Kingdom of Songhai, Dahomey, Oyo, and Congo. These are some of the civilizations that existed in Africa at this time. Benin is located in modern-day Nigeria, and it is a great example of how civilized kingdoms in West Africa at this time were. This is something that's very important to me because when looking at European historians such as Hugh Trevor Roper, who argued that there is none or at least very little history in Africa until the Europeans arrived, Benin is an example that allows us to successfully refute and challenge that notion that there's no history in Africa. And not only that there's no history in Africa, it allows us to see that in the medieval period, African kingdoms were very much on the same level as a number of European kingdoms at that time. The question a lot of us have is, how do we know that it was civilized, and what exactly does this civilization look like? Now, Benin is known for its Benin bronzes and its Benin heads. And what these Benin heads captured, they captured the heads of what we call the Obas, or the kings of Benin at the time. And this was very important in the same way that Europeans used portraits to capture their monarchs and get certain messages across. The Obas of Benin did a very similar thing, capturing their heads in bronze sculptures. In addition to this, you had bronzes that captured different elements of the life in Benin. And there are two bronzes that I really, really find interesting. There's one bronze where you have the Oba, or should we say king of Benin, and he's next to a mudfish. And a mudfish is a really interesting symbol. Mudfish could live both in water and on land at the same time. And what the Oba of Benin was trying to say to people was he was both divine, but he was both human at the same time. And that's a key thing around Benin, the belief that the Oba was a god. These bronzes were extremely difficult to make, and they show how advanced Benin was at this time. We refer to Benin as a kingdom, but it was actually an empire, and there are various different experiences within this empire. Some people lived in the courtyard or in court with the Oba, but a vast majority of people may have lived in villages or towns where they may have been farmers or they may have been blacksmiths. Not too different to what you'd find in Europe, where the majority of people worked as farmers during that time. Today, Benin is in where we call modern day Nigeria, towards the south, and the leading religion you'd find in Nigeria, you have one of two. You have Islam and Christianity, and that's a key difference to what you'd have found in Benin at that time. At that time in Benin, they would have practiced their local religions where they worshipped their local deities. I think the Benin Kingdom is an important example of, number one, the relationship that existed between the Europeans and the Africans at that time. And it's a relationship where the power was very much in the hands of the Obas. It's also a great example of African history and how advanced Africa was at that time and how civilizations were nurtured. The story of Benin, or the Kingdom of Benin, is very important because we ask ourselves, how did kingdoms such as Benin, who clearly were superior in a power relationship, how did you go from kingdoms of Benin to countries within that West Africa region becoming involved in the transatlantic slave trade? And where did a change in those power relationships come from the Benin Obas once upon a time being superior to European kings becoming superior?